Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ed. Alright, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to post this video or not, but I'm going to go ahead and shoot it anyway, and I'm waiting for the response from this author. But I was on Facebook, and in my timeline, let's see if I can find it. Something showed up, an author looking for feedback on their cover, and it was down a ways. So anyway, I went and checked it out, and wasn't I mean, it's not a bad cover, but I thought we could do a little better. So what I want to do is, and of course, I sent a message to the author asking for permission, but I haven't heard back yet. So if you see this video, it means I got permission, and if you don't see this video, then I didn't get permission, and I'm talking to myself. But anyway, all right. So here's what I did. The first thing I did was I already kind of started before I fired up ScreenFlow here to record this, but I went in and just started going through some templates and just started opening a few templates that I thought I might be able to use with the stock photo as a starting point. So now you have to understand, this one's a photo. Ed, what's this war cover have to do with a mermaid book? And it's not really what I'm looking for when I go through the templates. I'm looking more for the layout and the text that I like, so I can just pop in a stock photo, make a few changes, and be done with it. So that's what I'm doing. So I've already got a few open. Let me open a few more, and we'll kind of go from there. I might go ahead and fast forward this so you don't have to sit through me opening these files, but if not, it shouldn't take too long. There's a few in this folder that look pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, this one maybe we'll pop in a photo. Alright. Alright, next folder. 5, I believe. Yeah, we'll give this one an open just to test it out. Come on. This might work. And I'm using volume 2, by the way, of the KD cover kit I'm going through. Now I could go through all the 110 of the first ones too, but just want to do a real quick example video here. Let's try to find something that might work. What's the name of this book again? The Missing Mermaid. Alright. Alright. And part 6. And I'm going through these. I already kind of have a stock photo in mind because I got a little jump start on that. But just kind of going through and looking at what templates might work really well with this photo, or a couple photos I've already got in my head. Alright, let's check one more folder. Nah, this one might work though. And close to finishing up. Let's see if I see anything else that I like. This one, this might work too. Click OK. And both these might work. Alright, so I got a bunch open, and we'll take a look here in a second. Alright, so I've got a bunch of files open, and we're just going to try some things out. And the other thing I need to do is go grab the stock photo. So what I'm going to do here is go to my site, which is Dollar Photo Club. It's not my site, but it's the site I use now pretty much exclusively for stock photos. I used to use a few other sites and a combination of sites, but this is my go-to site now, mainly because it's $1 a photo, and they give you really large sizes where you don't have to pay more for the size. So for my $10 a month, I get 10 photos, and then I can add more if I need it. And if I don't use credits one month, they carry over. So, and with the larger sizes, what that helps me with is those are good for Kindle covers, because then I can start with the largest size without paying extra for it, and kind of if I make the image smaller or have to zoom in, I don't lose any quality. Which, if I go to some other sites, they make you pay. Sure, you can get some of the same photos that you can get here for $1, but to get the larger size might cost you $7 or $8 for that same photo, and here everything's $1. So I'll put some info if you haven't. I've had a lot of people already that I've pointed in the direction of Dollar Photo Club, so I'll put a link somewhere that you can click on and check it out. And what I did is I just searched for mermaid, typed it in here and searched. I'll go ahead and do that so you can see it, but you can go ahead and check it out. I sorted by popular because I wanted to see how many. I want to go by the most popular photos. I also searched by downloads and the most recent ones, because sometimes I search by recent because you can get a photo that maybe hasn't been used because it's newer. And you see here's a photo. I actually kind of like that one. Yeah. And then what I did was, when I found a photo like this, I just created a gallery here on Dollar Photo Club, so I can just, in my research, I can just start looking at all the different photos and then just add them to a gallery, and then I can go back to it later. Alright, now one trick I'll tell you with a lot of these stock photos is you don't want anything that's too obviously stock photo-y. So something that really stands out where it's just like, oh my god, as soon as you see it, it's a stock photo. With people smiling and waving, like this one might fall in there. People smiling and waving, and it just, this one and this one kind of fall into that category. You want something that's going to pop off the cover, that something like this even, and then I can just click here and add it to that gallery. And we'll go ahead and swing over to the gallery, and go back to the first page. But you can see here, if I open it up, and then I can have them all show on the same page, so I don't have to move between pages. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is, there's a few that I like, but I want to try out a few covers with this photo. I'm going to go ahead and download it here, and you can see the size. This thing's huge. It's 7,000 pixels by almost 6,500 pixels, and it's 300 dpi. So this is a high quality image, and it's a large size. So when we shrink it down on our cover, which is what, 1563 by 2500, so we'll have to shrink this down a little bit to fit it on our cover, but we won't lose any quality when we do it. So I'm going to go ahead and download this. Take a sec. There we go. And it's downloading now. You'll see it's taking a second here because it's a large file. And I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so that finished downloading, and now I've opened the file, the image in Photoshop. And you'll see here, I can't really move it around because it's locked. If you've never dealt with this before, if you haven't watched the tutorial videos, go in there and check them out. But if you haven't, this little lock here locks that background layer when you open an image like this. You just need to left click this twice, and then you can rename it, or you can not rename it, whatever you want to do. But it just unlocks it, and you click OK, and now the lock's gone and you're fine. You can also just click this little unlock thing here while you're on the window, but I just double click and rename. Alright, so now I've got this mermaid picture, and what I want to do here is, so I can see it, I'm going to move it to a new window, which just pops it out of this bar up here, and I can put it over here on the side, because what I'm going to do is start dragging and dropping this photo into some of my cover templates. So let's start with this one here. Alright, and this one's about a murder mystery, but I kind of like how the text is, so I wanted to drop this photo in and see what it looks like. Now when I drop it in, it's going to be a little large, so what I'm going to have to do is adjust the size of the photo. I'm going to do that by coming up here to the corner. What did I do wrong? There we go. And if I come here on the corner, and I'm going to hold the shift key and the left button on my mouse to shrink it, and what you'll see is it keeps the aspect ratio, it keeps it the same, the width and the height the same ratio if you hold shift and the left button on the mouse. So that helps with keeping the quality of the photo. Alright, so then I'll double click it to apply, and you'll see I'm still maybe a little big here. Alright, but that doesn't look bad. I kind of like this, how this photo looks. Now again, I don't really know if this is what the author is looking for, alright, with the missing mermaid, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a try and see what happens. Next thing I can do here is I can open up the title. Now I want to move these titles here, so I think if I want to move the whole title down a little bit. Alright, something like this. And let's go ahead and let's try this out. Now obviously, first thing we're going to do is I want to get rid of this crime thing here. There we go. And also, what's this layer called here? Shape. For right now I'm going to turn that off, and then we'll move this down a little bit more. Alright, there we go. And let's start editing some text here and see what happens. Some of the fonts are going to change because I don't have them on my computer. Missing. Alright, and then we'll change this font. Yeah, I don't have that Cinzel bold. I have to go add that to my computer, but for now we're fine. We'll add some different fonts. Now you can see that's a little big, so I'm going to come up here and resize it so it's a little smaller. I hate when they add the points, so I'm going to just make it 100. Still a little too large. Let's see. I want a tall but narrow font. There we go. And then this way I can make it larger. So I might be able to go to like 132, 152, 160. There we go. Alright, so now I've got that. I have to center it here just a tiny bit. Adjust this photo just a tiny bit. There we go. I want to be able to, that we can kind of see her tail here, that it's a mermaid. So let's go ahead and make this photo just a little smaller. There we go. And now we'll adjust it and see. Yeah, I like that a little better. Oops. There we go. So I'll be able to see that tail a little bit. Down. There we go. And now what we'll do here is adjust the missing. I'm not really fond of that font. So what can we try here? Closer together. It's not perfect, but we're just trying things out here. So let's see if we can get this to 100 and go a little larger. And the other thing I want to do is try and see if moving this behind, yeah, I don't want it to sit on top. I don't want them to overlap at all. Center it just a little bit with the arrow keys. And it's not great, but it's not bad. Alright. Now, romantic suspense short story. You know what? I don't even want that. Let's go ahead and undo that. Just going to turn this off. Turn this off. Alright, so now we can see that tail, this glow here that's, I want to move that up so we get it more, it's like a greenish color. Alright, I want it so it's more centered behind the text. And we might have to move it down just a little bit, but now we can see the tail a little more. Alright, obviously we've got to change this. Oops, I think it was Lawrence, right? Yeah, alright. Bring this up a little bit. Huh. And then we're going to use this, man, what's it say again? A romantic suspense short story. A romantic suspense short story. Oh, that could probably be a little bigger. Up. Yeah, that's a little too big. I don't want it to all fit on one line. There we go. And let's see what looks better. Down a little further, up a little more. If I bring it up, it kind of works against the black, but I think it looks a little better down. I have to move it to my left a little bit. I think that looks better, and we can go ahead and turn that off. And not too bad. I kind of like it. Maybe the green doesn't work. We might have to go with a different color. The other thing we could do is try maybe black here. Maybe a green like that's too much green. I don't want that. We could use like a gray. You could find something here that, yeah. What about this? Just white's probably the best way to go. Alright. And not too bad. So there, we've got a cover. Now, alright, does that mean we're done? Maybe, maybe not. The other thing we can do is now we can go in and do the same thing with different templates. So we can just take this photo, drag it in here. The other thing we have to do is move it around so we can actually see it. Alright, let's see, was there anything else in this background? Yeah, we're okay. So now we'll resize this photo again, and we'll really shrink it down. Oops, that's too far. Alright, so holding the shift key, making it smaller, moving it even more, and we can always make it bigger as well, but I want to shrink this down a little more this time so we can see more of the full image on the cover. There we go. Yeah, we might have added. Now, instead of messing with the photo, I could easily take the photo here and just extend it this little bit to cover, but I don't want to do that. So what we'll do is undo that, and I'm just going to add a little, yeah, I want to apply that, and I'm just going to add like a little black bar here, blue. Oh, we got a little, and we'll change the color of this. Come on, there we go. Just black. There's a number of ways you can do this. I'm just going to do it the simple way. I've got a little black thing down there. Let me see what this looks like. Yeah, I'm going to have to go down a little bit with that. I just want a little bit of black there so I can put a line there, a little tag line there. Okay. And you know what? We're just going to extend the photo because I don't like how that looks. So we'll turn that off. Trial and error. That's what a lot of this is. Just try stuff, see what works, see if it doesn't. Alright. There we go. I'm liking that a little better. I think we could go a little bit more centered. Alright. And now we'll come up here and we'll do Vicky. Oops, I did that twice. Lawrence. Alright, this time for the title, let's try franchise. Another free font. Oops, I didn't have that selected. So franchise, F-R-A-N, franchise, a little closer, and I'll make it a little bigger. Really get that author name. There we go. Maybe 56 will work. Boom, there we go. I like that. Alright, and then we're just gonna change the, now I really kind of like this font here in this case, so I'm gonna have to go download this font real quick. So let me pause this video. Okay, so if you were looking up here and you see the little clock, that only took a minute or two, but I went ahead and downloaded that font and installed it, and it was right on Font Squirrel, showed up. So now, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. That's not what I wanted to do. Son of a gun. Alright, let's see. Sinzel. That's what I need. Alright, so then, sorry, I had to take a little pause there. I'm liking how this looks, so what I'm going to do here is find this layer here, and I want to move this down here. There we go. Looks pretty good. Now personally I would use some kind of tagline besides a romantic suspense short story, but this is what the author has here, so we'll go ahead and throw that in, and we're just gonna use a romantic short. Come on now. There we go. Sorry about that. And then we'll go ahead and make that a little bigger. Too big. 15. There we go. Good. Alright, so there we go. The photo and the templates. Okay. Now we've got two covers. Now the other thing I could do here is I could start to play around. Let's say, you know, I don't like the color here. I want something maybe that's blue. I could try a blue color here. I could try like a greenish color. Alright, something that stands out like that. Something darker, something lighter. I can also use the color picker. Maybe find something from up here that matches the cover a little bit that we're already using. Maybe something darker that's going to blend in too much. Something like that. Something off of her skin. Yeah, that's not bad. Alright, but we'll leave it at white for now. And then I can do the same thing with Betrayed. Alright, I can come here. And I don't know why it's doing that. And now it's back. It doesn't make any sense. So Sinzel decorative. Alright. Try like a lighter color here. Or maybe like a greenish. You know, anything like that. Try different things depending on what we want. Or maybe like a blue. Something like this. Lighter. Something like that. And let me try to get this font back. I don't know what this thing is doing. Alright. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Betrayed. Ooh. Huh. Thicker. Black, the thickest. I think we're going to stay with bold. And I also want to make that just a little bigger. we'll try the different text. So missing, we'll stick with that for now. And mermaid, yeah, I like that. Not sure about 100% certain on the type than the top font, but I know I really like that look. Now we'll have to space these out a little bit. Alright, and there we go. Alright, now, not to get too dramatic, but which cover you gonna would you rather have on your book? This one or this one? Alright, it's not a knock on anybody, just the honest to God truth, and then you can still play with the photograph. So if you want to go up a little higher and extend this down a little bit, you can do something like that, you know what I mean? So maybe you see a little more, a little less. I'm gonna go and undo that because I kind of liked it before, and step backward. There we go. So now we've got two covers. Alright, we did this one here and we did this one here. Alright, now I can go ahead and pop this into another template and just kind of keep seeing what I can come up with. Alright, with the different layouts, with the different fonts, with the different text, all that good stuff. Alright, get this to a size that we like. I can try off centering the cover, or the photo I mean, so I can try putting this over to the side more. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Come on. Alright, so there's something in design that I wanted to cover in one of the videos, but I haven't done it yet, called the rule of thirds. And those of you familiar with design at all will know that centering isn't a bad thing depending on the image, but there's also something that if you want a focal point in your cover or in your design, you want the center of it to be, you want to divide it into thirds, your cover, and you want the focal point to be on one of those 1/3 lines. Alright, it's just the way the brain works and things like that, and how it gets attention. So you can do something like this and just try to center it more to where it's right on that third, so it's about 1/3. Alright, and then with something like this, actually there might be another, yeah, this one might work better. So if we go ahead here, something like this. Alright, come on, there we go. If I resize this and shrink it a little more, and now I've got it off to the side here. Okay, come on. There we go. So now I can do something like this. Alright, where I cut that off, and if I try to center her right about on the 1/3, alright, I use the arrow keys to get it right where I want, and now I've got the outline of another cover. So one good stock photo in the templates, pop it in, see what happens. Alright, if I wanted to try this one, obviously with this one I'm going to have to make the image a little smaller. Alright, I've got that popped in, extend it just a little bit. Alright, get rid of the image. I'll just go ahead and turn that off. Move our title up a little bit. Alright, and adjust this photo just a tad. Get it a little bigger. There we go. And we can go ahead and center this one. Now obviously my title's probably a little too big, or if I want to make the photo a little bigger, or just extend it at the top, okay, I can do that. Move her down a little bit so she's just under. Alright, and now I've got, alright, and we can keep doing this for all the different covers. just see what we like best. You know, if we like something like this, that has a good look to it. They all kind of look the same. Alright, but just to give you some ideas and show how simple it is. And then you just kind of roll with what you think's best. Maybe ask for some opinions from people, post it in the forum, all that good stuff. Come on. Here we go. You go with something like this where you're really zoomed in. You don't even have to show her face. That's the thing. Alright, something like this where you don't use the whole image might be better. Alright, you see what happens here with the photo. And I don't have this font, but missing. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Mermaid. And we'll go use that Cinzel font because that would look pretty good. And we'll make it the black, the bold. And then we'll shrink the size so we can see it. And we'll bring it a little tighter. And move it around here. Still a little too big. Come on. Oh, I know. We want the decorative. That's what I want. Alright. So now, got something like this. Now obviously, missing's going to have to be a little bigger. And we're going to have to center it. Maybe play with the font. I haven't really played with the fonts and even really gotten into that in this video. Alright, so if you start to try those out, yeah, Oswald's not a bad font. If you use Oswald Book, it's going to be thicker. And then we can give it a little, maybe we want to give it a little yellowish color. If we can find something, and that's not good, bright enough. Maybe we go with something like this. That's probably going to be too bright. There we go. And let's increase the size even bigger. Alright. Overlap them maybe a little bit. Increase the font even more. Center it. Undo that. Grab the little middle thing. I have to go a little smaller. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Something like that. Alright. So now, you know, you don't have to use the whole stock photo. And that's the great thing with dollar stock photos. You can really come in here and they give you these huge photographs. Go ahead and turn that off. So you can start to see what you can do. You can take one photo and, you know, just using the bottom part gives you a totally different feel, alright, than we had with the other versions where you can see the woman, her face, the mermaid, and as opposed to, where's the one where we were on the side here? Alright, this one where you can see the whole image off to the side. Or there's this one where you're back a little further. Or, I don't remember which number that was. Or you have this one here where you're zoomed in. Alright, and you don't see her face. Alright, let me know what you think.